Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would talk about my vegan journey and my transition to veganism. A lot of people have asked me how I went vegan, if I went vegan overnight, how I transitioned and all of that, so I thought I would just make a video about it. I guess I will start off with kind of my background, take it back a few years and then to my vegan transition. I grew up in Ireland then and I ate red meat, not a lot of it, but I did eat like bacon and like meat stew and things which my dad made. My dad ate meat and used to make a lot of meat dishes, and my mom was a lacto-ovo vegetarian back then when I was younger. So I grew up eating a lot of lentils, beans, fruits and vegetables when I was with my mom, and then I did eat meat and that when I was with my dad. So that was kind of how I ate until I was 12 or 13, and then I developed an eating disorder. Yeah, basically I didn't eat so much and then I was in recovery and treatment, and there I was forced to eat meat. It was part of recovery treatment. I think nowadays in some treatment centres you are allowed to be vegetarian, but then you have to have been a vegetarian before you went, or before you became sick. Anyway, then I recovered and a lot of like soya products, but I did also eat a lot of meat and dairy products. I kind of fell into this fitness bubble with like the protein hype, like protein everything. So I ate a lot of quark, which is like a thick yogurt kind of thing, a lot of eggs, chicken, salmon, cod, and then a lot of protein bars, protein powder, protein everything. I did like it. I liked eating it, but it was a protein hype thing. So then between the years kind of 2012, 2015, that was kind of how I ate a lot of protein powder, chicken, eggs, all of that. And I basically thought I could never go vegan. I love dairy products, I love eggs. Like 80% of my diet was animal products. How could I go vegan? But anyway, then during 2015 and 2016 I began to kind of research into veganism and eating a vegetarian diet, and it just kind of began to feel wrong, like how much animal products I was eating. But then because of my history with an eating disorder, I didn't want any restrictions, I didn't want any limits. I didn't feel like I wanted to kind of mix with my food and take away food and things like that. So I began to eat a little bit more vegetarian options, like soya meat instead of chicken or fish, and like soya milk and oat milk instead of normal milk. But it was still a lot of animal products. And then 2016 I moved away from home. I started university. I was struggling a lot at the time. I was not feeling good mentally. I was very depressed. I had a lot of anxiety. I didn't really make any friends in my university, and I just had a lot of things going on in my mind, and like my body was reacting to that. I had a lot of stomach pain. I was always bloated. I was tired. I just did not feel good at all. At the same time I began to watch more documentaries about veganism, plant-based diet, and I began to make this kind of connection of what I was eating. Like chicken wasn't just like a food, it was like a chicken, a living chicken that had died because I wanted to eat it. I don't think I mentioned this, but I had stopped eating red meat since I've never been a huge fan of red meat, so once I was out of treatment and wasn't forced to eat it, I stopped eating red meat. So that was 2011. So I began to research and I began to feel kind of more connected, or like kind of making the connection of what meat and dairy really was. And then I ended up with pancreatitis, or like an inflamed pancreas. So I had to go to the emergency room and I was admitted, and I had to stay there 24 hours. I wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything. It was just slightly inflamed, but it was still kind of a shocking experience, and I'd had a lot of stomach pain before that. Like, I hadn't been eating so much the week beforehand and I'd thrown up and things, and then afterwards it was like my body was still in shock. I still kind of had stomach pain. I couldn't eat so much, but at the same time that happened, I thought, I'm gonna give plant-based vegan a go. I'm just gonna go for it. I'd considered it for a while but never really decided to do it. So then basically once I decided, me and my sister had talked about doing a vegan challenge, like a week or a month, or I can't remember how long it was. And then when we talked about it, I was like, okay, this is great. This is like an opportunity for me to do it. It turned out that she didn't commit to it, but it was the kind of boost and motivation I needed to just go for it. So overnight, I basically ate up or threw away the animal products I had at home, which it wasn't so much at the time. I think it was like quark, maybe some protein ice cream, some chocolate, maybe some chicken. And then I just went to the store and I just bought vegan versions of everything I wanted. It did take a lot of time at first, buying or like finding vegan options. I hadn't done so much research, but I bought the basics like vegan fake meat, vegan yogurt, vegan milk, just lots of vegetables and whole foods. And then I also made a list of lots of vegan foods, like meals I could make, would be my backup if I didn't know what to cook. So I can highly recommend doing that to anyone. Like, do your research on foods, but also write a list of different recipes and ingredients you can have at home. So that was my start of my plant-based vegan transition. It was both ethical and health-based, because I did want to see how would it affect my skin, would my stomach feel better, but also it just felt right. And I can say that it did improve my stomach problems. I have very little stomach ache and issues now. My skin is also better, and like mood wise and that, or like mental health, I am doing a lot better as well. But I mean, I don't know if I can connect those to the vegan diet or not, because I made a lot of changes during summer 2016, which I'm not going to get into now, but it was a lot of changes in my life that could have improved my mental health and skin and stomach ache and all of that as well. So when I first went vegan, I didn't know so much about it. I liked cooking and that, but I wasn't like a huge fan of it. I wasn't so creative. So I began with just eating a lot of potatoes, a lot of vegetables, and because it was summer, it was also a lot of fruit. But when you combine going vegan, not really knowing what to eat, and also as I had had the pancreatitis, I still had like a lot of stomach issues. I wasn't feeling so great mentally. So at first I did lose a lot of weight, which was just a combination of everything, and I wasn't eating enough on a vegan diet. If I look back now, I can see that it just wasn't enough. It was a lot of fruit as well. But then over the years, I have learned how to cook better, be more creative, try new foods, also to increase my portions, which is very important, because you can't just like take away the meat and dairy and not replace it. You like have to, what you take away you have to replace with something vegan. But also if you eat a lot of whole foods, like a lot of vegetables, fruit, grains, all of that, you need to most often increase your portion sizes, which a lot of people forget, and that's the reason why they can feel, you know, tired, it doesn't last eating a plant-based diet because you aren't getting all the nutrients, you aren't getting enough energy, you don't enjoy what you're eating, you find it boring or whatever. So over the years I've gotten more creative, I've experimented with different meals, I've enjoyed cooking and eating more. And also, of course, it's not just my diet. I have now my makeup, all the products I have at home. When I buy new things, I make sure it's vegan and cruelty free. So some things I have, which I've had like 2 years and they just haven't, like perfumes and things. I haven't bought a perfume in 2 years. I've been vegan now 2.5 years, but makeup and deodorant and cleaning items and all of that, I make sure it's vegan and cruelty free. It was definitely a process. In the beginning it was just about, you know, changing the obvious things, like taking away the meat and the dairy. But then over time I began to think about, you know, what E numbers aren't vegan, you know, if there's a D vitamin that isn't vegan. I've never had leather or snakeskin or anything like that, but like wool and that I've had to think about, and buying new shoes, that's not always easy. But of course I have made mistakes in my 2.5 years. I guess I could just make a video about it, but like I've accidentally eaten a sandwich which had butter on it, because it was hummus and butter, but I didn't realise it was butter on it until after I'd eaten a bite I think I took. I have accidentally ordered nuts which had honey in them. I think I've had like alcohol which isn't vegan when I've been out, and it just wasn't something I thought about at the time, you know. I was just offered a drink, or you know, just bought a drink with friends and just took it, and then it wasn't until the next day I was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't vegan. So mistakes happen, I'm not perfect. All I can do is learn and just learn from my mistakes, and then like not feel guilty about it either, because I don't think the guilt is going to help anything. Just learn from it and realize I can't be perfect, but I can just do my best. And unfortunately there are animal products in so many things that like I'm still learning, you know. Sometimes I'll read a Facebook post and be like, how does this even have animal products in it, why? And then, you know,
things like razors, getting tattoos, like things like post-its even, and pens, and I mean, some people even say, you know, that the wax on fruit and that isn't always vegan.
But it's just about where are you going to draw the line. So things like, you know, yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm not even going to get into it. I'll make a video about it if you want. And I thought I was going to share some tips about going vegan, but I feel like this would be too long. But I can say that, you know, do your research. I'll link some videos and documentaries in the little comment section below, so you can watch those. Research about, you know, what foods to eat, what isn't vegan, how to veganize food, where to get your nutrients. Slowly make the change. I went vegan overnight, basically. That worked for me, but I had also already eaten some vegetarian options, so it wasn't like going from lots of red meat and dairy to just like vegetables and fruit. So in a way I'd kind of been transitioning over time. So things like Meatless Monday, try a meat-free week, try a vegan meal every day, try new recipes every week, find new vegan foods. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Try new vegan foods every week, and just like slowly make the change. Make the changes possible for you at your current time and do the best you can. That was a little bit about my vegan transition. If you have any questions, just leave them below and I will try my best to answer. And I might make a dedicated video just answering questions you have about my vegan transition or any other vegan questions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Apparently it helps. I'm new to this whole thing, but just
give the video a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for watching.
Hi, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to to talk about